Okay, can we have your name, sir?
Douglas Keith Pearson.
And how old are you? You're allowed, you should really tell the truth, but
No, I think I'm 41.
41.
I'm turning 42 this year.
You're really only a young fellow, aren't you?
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess.
reckon you are, compared to me. First surfboard, can you remember what it was?
It was a Tom Smithers twin fin from, crikey, who was it? It was from the Beach Hut.
In Whangarei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old, you know, when you had the old apple wax and
Yeah.
and they had the wonderful, that was Roger Crisp's.
Yeah. So, was it brand new or second hand?
Oh, second hand.
Second hand, yep.
You know,
Can't remember what you paid for it?
$90.
$90. That would have been what? A few weeks' wages in
No.
those days.
What was I doing at that time? I didn't know if I had a milk run or if I was
Yeah.
still
Would have been a fair bit of money though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, obviously Mum and Dad paid for it.
Oh, you didn't have to save up and pay for it.
Oh, no, I had to pay for other things.
Yeah. Why do you think you started surfing? Was mates into it or?
Yeah, actually it's quite interesting because I had friends, well, there was Wayne Gray and Barry Goodall and Lindsay Baker and all of these guys, and Wayne was a good surfer.
He was very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whangarei Boys High School, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that's the one.
Yeah.
And that was fourth form.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there was these, it was a different feel, a different aesthetic.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool, and it was something that you could very easily differentiate between cool and mainstream.
Because they were a hot. Well, I know Barry Goodall very well.
Oh,
and Wayne
best
Gray, and they're just hot surfers, aren't
Yeah.
they? You know, and they even still are today.
Oh, yeah, Wayne still
Yeah,
just
yeah,
cracks it, eh?
yeah,
So, and I remember these gold beach hut stickers,
yeah, yeah,
and it was just like, wow, let's go and check out what this beach hut is, and
yeah.
you know, there was seagrass mats on the floor and the smell of resin and
Great shop, eh?
epic, and
Yeah,
the whole sort of wooden, you know, weatherboard exterior, it almost looked like a Wild West
yeah, yeah.
facade. It was such a cool
And
place.
the stingray photos and all that.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
everything.
brilliant, eh? Yeah,
Early wetsuits and
yeah. It was a brilliant little shop. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So you went to Whangarei Boys High School, did you?
I did.
Yep, yep. And those guys were all strong surfers. Did you go in the scholastic team at the Boys High School?
Oh
then?
no, no, those guys had their whole thing sewn up.
Yeah.
I was just the wannabe guy learning to surf on a twin fin, you know.
You certainly learned how, mate. I tell you that. Yeah.
Oh well, you know, years and years of
Yeah.
perseverance.
Yeah. So, why do you think you started? Just because those guys are having a great time surfing, and you wanted to?
It was the mystique. It was
Yeah,
the mystique
yeah.
that there was actually something that you wanted to know about. These guys were onto something. They
Yeah.
were onto a good seam of whatever it was, and it was
Yeah.
like, I want to have some of that.
Yeah.
And you know, I was probably an insecure teenager, just like everyone else, and
Yeah.
you know, and once you get bitten, of course, then there's
Yeah.
no turning back.
No, true. Yeah.
Everything falls to the wayside.
First car. What was your first
Oh
car?
fuck! It was a Honda Civic.
Honda Civic.
Yeah,
That
it
was a
was- great
little car, mate. There. Did
It's
you
a-
take it everywhere? Yeah.
Oh, in places it shouldn't have been going.
Shookies on
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Bottoming out.
They've been smoking too
Yeah.
much and going around peaks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
You get it stuck around there and
never
not
got
through
stuck.
the water. Yeah.
Never got
yeah.
it stuck. Always, you know, you knew you couldn't take it up to its sills or anything. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
car suicide.
So that front wheel drive or rear wheel?
Front, yeah.
Front wheel drive. Yeah. Yeah.
And that was bought for $600.
$600. Yeah.
That was my 21st
What
present.
colour was it?
Orange.
Yeah.
Fuck, I covered it in stickers, mate. Must have looked so rude.
Yeah. Ah, great.
Such a
car.
grommet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, good on you. Oh, well, what sort of music were you listening to in that car when you were off to? What did you have pumping on that radio? Or did it have a radio?
It had a cassette player, of
Yeah.
course, back in the old day, and it would have been compilations of all kinds of things. It would have been the Pixies, it would have been Motley Crue, it would have been AC/DC, it would have been, you know, heavy metal,
Yeah.
alternative stuff that was coming through in the early Rip Curl videos and whatnot, and
So that would have been
Violent
really
Femmes and,
turned up cranking, eh? mate?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, that was before stereos were
Yeah.
like they are now,
Well,
so
I know.
it would have been distorting beautifully.
Mate, my day, if you had a car radio, you got 10 miles out of town and you lost the station. That terrible.
True, yeah. It's nice.
Best surfboard, what's the one you got now, or have you ever had one that you've broken or lost, or?
It's really weird. I had a Ratso Buchanan, Ian Ratso Buchanan, thrust it. It was a shop board
Yeah,
off the rack, and it was just magic.
yeah, just really performed for.
Oh, it was just, I don't know if it was just a magic equation for where I was with my surfing. And
Yeah,
it, you know, it didn't have super rocker.
yeah,
It, you know, it had like a, I don't know, kind of like a squash tail, I guess. And I don't think the contours or anything flash.
but that you and the board just matched it.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to it? Did you wear it out and break it? What happened to it? Because I didn't see it today, I don't think.
No, that was, you know, when you're that young, it was then we got onto tribals.
Yeah,
And we would always, I'd always have 2 or 3 boards a year. So
Yeah.
you'd surf them until they were still good.
enough to
secondhand.
sell. Yeah,
Exactly, and nearly not have to pay so much to get a new one.
yeah.
So I think we, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that Ratso one's really cool.
Yeah.
But then Roger just makes absolutely fantastic boards as well. And
Yeah.
I can't rave enough about his.
Yeah, you've got a few of Roger's boards, hey, and a few experimental ones I see there.
Oh yeah, you got to
Yeah.
mix it up.
Yeah.
Especially when you get old and slow.
You're not old and slow.
I feel like it.
You any member of any surf clubs or anything like that, or you just been a free surfer and done your own thing? Yeah.
Did my own thing. It was
Yeah.
just, you know, we all had long hair and black wetsuits, and,
Yeah.
and it was counterculture.
So what was your first wetsuit? Can you remember what make?
It probably would have been in the leader.
Yeah, yeah, because they were pumping out a lot of out of North Shore then, weren't they? And
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it would have been probably green and black, if I
Yeah.
remember it
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
I think that's when I was riding, I had one of Carrie Neal's
Yeah,
team boards, the yellow one, or else it might have been Bugsy's actually.
yeah.
But yeah, I remember that.
Okay, biggest wave you've ever been on? Whereabouts and, you know, just rough estimate. and rough
Nias.
house. Nias, where is that for us?
It's Lagundi Bay, it's an island off Sumatra.
Yes?
It's, I think, from Storm Riders. It's just the most perfect right-hander, and you can, but it's not like super full-on reef, it's actually kind of quite a flat reef, and it's covered with a fair bit of seaweed and whatnot, so it's not, you don't feel like your life is really...
Yeah, so is it it's a point break or not really, just a reef break?
It's pretty much a point break,
Yeah.
point reef setup. You can walk right around and there's a keyhole and you can paddle out with dry hair
Yeah,
and sit in the lineup.
Yeah.
And
so what size are we looking at roughly?
oh, it would have been probably a little bit more over 8 feet, I guess,
Yeah.
but
A grunty,
yeah,
good
like kind of
powerful
like
wave, yeah.
triple overhead type
Yeah.
sort of thing, and
Yeah.
but you just had to, you just knew that if you took off on it, then it wasn't going to close out.
Yeah,
You were just on this racetrack, and
Yeah.
it was just unbelievable.
heavenly or just fantastic, yeah.
Oh, it's just, yeah, just mind-blowingly awesome.
Yeah.
Just
Many guys out with you?
no, I surfed
Yeah.
a lot by myself when I was
By
there
yourself?
actually.
That big by yourself?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it was,
yeah.
you know, it's not like
Yeah.
you feel threatened by it.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
know that if you make the drop, and well, you obviously do. I was riding a 7.2.
Yeah,
Jamie Scott.
yeah,
And you just see it coming. You look out across the bay, and there'd be the bommy or the indicator right out,
oh,
way
so you
way
could
up.
see in advance that there
Yeah,
was
because it's a
something
big
decent coming.
horseshoe,
Yeah.
and then you'd see it there, and then like about a minute or 2 minutes later, it would feather up and just come grinding down a reef, just really super shallow. No one surfed a
Yeah.
indicator, and you just like, "Whew, it's coming, you know. Like 40 seconds later, there's just
Yeah,
these
okay.
perfect lines, not a drop of water out of place.
Yeah,
So you just see it, and you just paddle your ass off, and you're on a 7.2, and you're buoyant, and just straight into it super early, and you just feel like you're doing those Tom Curran
yeah, yeah.
full over bottom turn flipping, and then you just straight back up the top, woof, and then just straight
Yeah.
down again, and you just did that for the whole wave, and then a big roundhouse at the end. And
So did you just
getting
stroke that
goosebumps.
for a few days like that, or?
I had pumped, yeah. I was
Yeah.
there for like about a month, I think.
True, really? Yeah,
Just camped there. Well, not camped. I was
Yeah,
in Mossman.
yeah,
But no, I had a fish as well. Probably
Yeah.
the first fish Jamie ever shaped.
yeah,
So I was always into different stuff.
yeah.
I was a
So,
different child.
yeah, whereabouts else have you surfed around the world? Yeah,
Uh,
Give us some interesting places where you've been that we wouldn't know about, or
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Yeah.
Surfed in
Good
Jamaica.
surf in Jamaica.
Good, yeah, Boston Bay.
Yeah.
I lived in a little island in the Baltic Sea, a place called Gotland. It was a Swedish island,
Yes.
and that had waves.
Yeah. So was there many local surfers there, or
There was a little hardcore crew.
Swedish surfers?
Yeah, you know, and we go off to Morocco and places like that.
Mate, that's any young surfer's dream, isn't it, to do stuff like that? Yeah.
You know, and one day there's this place called Herklint, and it was just like mini Raglan.
Yeah.
It was like there must have been a low pressure up by Stockholm. It's like about 4 hours with ferry.
Yes.
2 hours, 3 hours. But you know, like you have a low pressure and it's off the coast, so you get the nice settled weather, but you've got this groundswell coming in.
Yeah.
And I was hungover, and Eric rang up and he's just like, you should come surfing, and I'm just like, oh dude, I feel like shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, he's really cool, quiet little guy. He's kind of like, no, I think you should.
You should come.
You should come. So yeah, it was just pumping.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my god. Yeah. And I had a thumping headache, but it disappeared very quickly.
I bet it would. Yeah. So where have you surfed around the place? You're such a world-travelled guy.
I've only been to. Once you start travelling, you realise you haven't seen shit.
Yeah, but
Morocco, Spain, Portugal, loads of France.
Yeah, and France gets some big mean waves, doesn't it?
Oh, France pumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where else did I say?
Morocco.
Australia, Indonesia, Morocco.
Have you done Hawaii?
Nah.
Never been to Hawaii?
Never been to Hawaii.
And what about California?
I've never been interested in America because they're all just a bunch of crazy seppos.
And there's thousands of them, isn't there?
Yeah, we were always just so seppos. Never going to go there.
Yeah. I was talking to Cheshire today, and he said he went to Malibu, and he said it freaked him out because there was a guy there surfing, and he had a dive mask on and a snorkel, and he was surfing. And he said he couldn't figure it out. Why would you do something like that? And he just wanted to get out of it. Yeah, they said that was the weirdest thing he's ever seen.
But it's so cool, you know. You've got like guys like the Cat, you know, Mickey Dora and stuff, and then it's interesting to find out later on that he's Hungarian. You know, he's from. And they would have bailed out of Hungary with the uprising.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and all that type of thing. And of course, my wife's Hungarian, and you make these really cool connections. But no, not America. I've been to New York and stuff like that, but Mexico or somewhere like that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Scariest moment surfing? You've got to have a scare or two. Maybe this could be, or you haven't had any scary moments?
Oh, I've been slammed pretty hard before, but I've never really had like a leg rope caught on anything and getting dragged. And
so you've been pretty good.
Pretty lucky. I think just maybe surfing Partow Bar one time when it was really shallow and quite shingly, and then didn't make the drop, and then it was really shallow and it got hammered, and my zip popped open and my wetsuit filled up with water, and I was just.
The same things happen. You feel like a Michelin man, and I can't believe
you can't move.
So how much water can get in a wetsuit?
Yeah,
it's crazy, eh? Yeah.
Now these days I'm just more surprised how much fat can get into a wetsuit. Well, the other side of the Michelin thing.
Surf heroes. Do you have when you were young? Who did you sort of the famous guys? Or who did you look for? Just the guys at school that were better than you at that stage?
Oh, all those guys ripped, of course, but there weren't really sort of a lot of New Zealand. Folk heroes, so to speak, because they weren't in the same realm as the Aussies or the...
Yeah, they were the guys in the mags and the...
but Ian Buchanan had a really, really cool snap.
Yeah.
Big hook and stuff, but the other guys just seemed a bit rusty, so I never really sort of went, blah, blah, blah. It was always going to be Tom Curran, Ockie.
Yeah. And those guys still ripping, aren't they?
Totally.
Yeah. What about the young fellas today? The real young grommets that are getting all those aerials. What do you think about that?
It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome, and just to watch them, I think I was down at the old butter factory, that's what it's called, and was with Paul Harrison, Paul McDonald, and Grommet from, I think it's Mel's son from Tutukaka, and we're sitting there, and Paul's just like, I just can't identify with this type of thing, because back in the day we'd watch you know, like Tom Curran in The Search or something, doing a big hook or a carve or something,
Yeah,
you could kind of identify with that, but right big spinning, backhand 360, rah-de-rah,
turning around
faking.
and going again, it's crazy stuff.
It's just like, it looks awesome, but you got to know how hard it would be to do that. I'd kill myself. I'd get impaled.
Shark sightings. Have you seen a few big fish out there when you've been surfing? Anything scary or?
Oh no, same thing, Partial Bar one time, but it was probably the shark wanting to chase a fish that just happened to be on the bar.
Yeah. And it was right beside you or?
Oh, straight towards us.
Yeah.
And
Headed for you.
Yeah, we could see the fin out the back, and
yeah.
it was way out, and it was just doing its thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
it's no dramas. No one's ever been.
So you weren't too worried about that then?
Nah.
Surf accidents?
Oh, I flipping had board karate chopped me, and
Some major damage?
oh, I surfed in Purries, and I got a nice scar across here. And
Yeah. Was it your own board or someone else?
oh, my own board. Just
Yeah.
I stood up in the shorey after a big floater or something, and the thing went poof, and it cracked,
Yeah.
and the shudder, the impact, just
Yeah.
nearly knocked me out, but the fiberglass was shattered and then cut the top of my nose open.
So you had a bit of red in the water, I take it?
Oh, I just got out. I mean, I was
Yeah.
just like, I think Dave and Casey. It was Dave and Casey. Of course, it was the usual suspects, and
Yeah.
Jamie, and I don't
Yeah.
know if Bugs was there or.
It probably
But then
was, yeah.
Dave just like, he just saw me, you could see he was kind of,
Did he turn around and walk the other way?
he's just kind of like, ooh.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah, you should probably get out of the water or something.
So you end up with a couple of black eyes or?
No, it wasn't too bad
Yeah.
actually, it just, yeah. But then just the other day, flipping the board turned around and cracked me in the end, nearly knocked me out of Sandy's, which
Yeah,
was a bit
yeah.
close. Yeah, it's a bit sore.
Yeah.
And no.
You've come right. Favourite trip? Where you had a favourite trip anywhere that stands out? Probably that one you were telling us about it, but
Oh, a bit of Niaz is pretty magical.
yeah. You
But-
just went there surfing for a
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was taking photographs of the some Kiwi surfers there, Maz Quinn and whatnot, because I actually,
they asked you to take photos of them?
well, I was CPL, I met him the year before
Yeah.
in Indo out at Lakey Peak and stuff, and he was Quint and Clint Svensson and just heaps of good Northern mongrels out there, Jim Sugar and
Yeah.
one of Kiwi crew, and but then I was always shooting photographs of surfing and whatnot, and he goes, oh, maybe you should actually get some different camera gear, and so I was taking a few photographs and getting a few things published, and then I moved to Western Australia and was there for a while, Margaret River, and
Yeah.
was just starting to get into it, but then I moved to Europe and
Yeah.
to Sweden and stuff, because I married my first wife.
Yeah.
You always got to have a first one. You got to get that one out of the way.
Be careful now. Margaret River, that's a great wave down there, eh? It's a real surf town too. You get it going off, and it's a pretty big wave when it's
Oh,
doing its thing.
it's called the Junk Coast
Yeah,
because it's littered with waves.
Yeah.
Reef breaks. Ellensbrook Bommy was just absolutely epic, and lefties you'd be seeing Dave, what's his name? McCory? Dave McCory.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was on the world circuit stuff, and this dude's just got this place wide, just these bubble sets where the swell comes in. It's almost like Chopu in the way that the water just drains off the reef, and then the wave starts rolling before it actually goes green light, and then starts shooting off.
Yeah.
But magnificent waves. But I wouldn't want to live there now with all the chompings that have been going on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Freaks do. I mean,
It's a good thing in the back of your mind that no one's really been attacked too much in Northland or eaten or killed. So
Yeah.
So favourite beach? Where do you? I know you live at Nangaroo for now. Where do you go for a surf mostly?
Just because where we are, it has to be quite localised,
Yeah.
and how much gas costs.
Yeah.
Gone up. Back in the day, you could go somewhere on a smell of an oily rag, and
Yeah.
but obviously, Shippies when it's on is an amazing wave.
Yeah. Gets a bit crowded up there, doesn't it? But that's if you go around further, it gets less and less, doesn't it? But
Back in the day, we used to be really the only guys up there. It felt like it for a long time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like surf forecasting now. It wasn't just like green light Shippies, here it comes.
Yeah,
It was,
you get everyone going there now,
Yeah.
don't you? Yeah.
I remember the first time I went up there, it was like an epiphany. It was just
Yeah.
Pulling off my first wave at flipping peaks because I could just see it looming up and and I was used to junky North Coast
There we
waves.
go.
Holy shit, this thing's going with me on there or not. And I just went whoop, and pulled off the bat.
Good on you.
Yeah, I got shit for that too actually.
Funniest thing you've ever seen out surfing or going surf? What's the stupidest thing you've seen when you've been surfing? You probably can't think of anything. I know I'm putting you on the spot. You probably had funny things. Lots of them.
I think the funniest thing I saw recently was this guy with the most incredible wingnut ears, and he kind of looked like he was from a freak show or something, and buck teeth, and a weird haircut. And I'm not sort of.
You're not being rude or anything. Yeah.
No, but the guy had anyone who's got a GoPro.
Yeah.
On the front of their board at Sandy Bay needs to be ridiculed.
Yeah.
But then Ian, that South African guy,
yes,
cool guy, he was talking to him, and this guy said that he was sponsored. He was sponsored by GoPro, and he was flapping all around the show and stuff. And I have to remember exactly what Ian said. I think they sent him an email or something that said more aerials and less falling off or something. But Ian was such a nice guy. He was talking to this guy and he was obviously stoked on surfing, but it was a freak show. Like the rest of us were just like kind of.
Yeah. I was about 3 foot and rubbish surf, I suppose.
Oh, probably wasn't even 3 foot. But he made the time to. This guy felt good about himself, so yeah. Oh, it's just the writing as well.
Okay, this is a bit of a tricky one. Why do you think you go surfing? What do you get out of it? Now, I know everyone gets something different out of it. I was in a business for a while, it was a bit stressful, and I'd go surfing, mate, and you just forget about your worries, and you find something similar with the stress of life, and you go for a surf and you just feel so much better. And why? Well, what do you get out of it?
Oh, I could rattle off a whole lot of stuff. Scientifically it's been proven that surfing is kind of on the same level as a serious drug addiction.
Yeah.
There's negative ions that are in the water that travel through these bands of energy that have travelled for hundreds or thousands of miles, and they actually wash you, wash the stress away from you and fill you up like a battery. And just the whole sensory thing of surfing on our coastline where, you surf in France or something around Biarritz or whatnot, and you're looking up and there's just all of this history and all of these crazy buildings all just along the coast.
Yeah.
But you can come out here and go surfing wherever, Benaki Bar or wherever, and you turn around and you are a part of something going on there. You're not separate. You are a part of a whole entity.
Yeah. My wife, when I get a bit grumpy, she says to me, "You go surfing. Did you get something like that at home or something?"
My wife says that I am a better person for surfing, and she can tell when I haven't surfed for a while.
It just does something to you, and probably non-surfers would not understand it, but
endorphins, man. You're just filled up and happy. It's the best way to start the day.
I totally agree, and I totally know where you're coming from.
Oh, you imagine just dropping in a big wave and just racing off the bottom and coming up and going into a huge gouge or a cuddy and then dropping down and your heart's going and and you're just stoking and you just feel like you're a kid again and all that stuff. It's timeless.
A 65-year-old got a nice wave today, and I just felt like that on one wave, mate.
I saw you get some awesome ones today. You've gone right across the bloody bay several times.
I just had so much fun. Okay, now you've got 2 children.
Yeah.
Another one, mate, is on the way.
Yes.
What about your kids? You're going to go out there one day when your kids can swim and take them surfing? Do you think they'll...
Yeah, I with Noah, when he was only about like 1.5, I was just like pushing him into little waves on the boogie board.
Yeah.
But he was too young for that, and I freaked him out.
Yeah.
And I had to realise that I just have to step back.
Yeah.
And
they will do it when they'll tell you, won't they? Yeah.
When they want to do it. Yeah. And until then, it's just fun. I bought him a really cool soft top.
Yes.
Like a prop one, like $300. Got it from the board.
And how old is Noah?
Pardon me. Noah's, he's 4, turning 5 in September, but I actually think Tui's probably going to be more balls to the wall with that type of thing. She's got a different personality.
Yeah, and she's the go-getter one, or have a go at anything. Well, one of my youngest grandchildren, mine, she's like that, and she's going to be scary, I think. and probably the same. She
Oh,
knows
yeah.
she's just going to go for it, eh?
I just keep on joking that I should have called it karma because it's going to be coming back in good old, portions.
Yeah.
But my wife, she loves to surf as well, and she's extremely talented
Yeah.
athlete.
Yeah,
But she keeps on getting pregnant.
yeah, and I wonder whose fault that is.
I don't know. The kids do resemble
Yeah.
quite striking a few friends of
Yeah.
mine. So
Yeah.
no.
So you hope you'll be surfing in 20 years' time with your family still, and
That's the dream.
yeah, yeah,
I'll get like a rigid inflatable boat, and I'll scuttle off around a few little places,
yeah,
so I don't have to go and join the summer crowds if
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's just access. There's some amazing places around,
yeah.
but you just have to drive and walk. And
I think we're still lucky in Northland because if you know where to go, you can go out and just you and your mate, and you'll be alone on a wave, and that's quite common. It's yep. So
Yeah.
we all know where those places are. But
Oh,
we're not
yeah.
telling too much. but-
if there was a coastal road, it would be completely different. But
yes,
it's not.
yeah, yeah,
If you want to go and surf Partow or I love Ocean Beach. I love Proctor's. I love
yeah,
Odie Road. But I mean, if you're in Nongaroo, I just can't afford it.
yeah. Yeah,
Sandy
but
Bay
you-
isn't always the
yeah.
pick of places I want to go and surf. But
Nungaroo Bar, mate. You've
Yeah.
probably been there, and down now there in Muscle Rock. I was
Oh.
lucky to live at Nungaroo, and we'd go across Muscle Rock and right down the corner in the right conditions. You'd have a lovely little wave, and there'd be no one there.
and it's
Yeah.
brilliant. You just
Yeah.
paddle across and you're in a different
Yeah.
world.
And come home with a feed of pippies or something like that. Eh? Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add, Doug, that you can think of at the moment?
Not really.
Yeah.
I just think that I think Kiwis should really get out there and people who maybe aren't doing so well or don't have much drive and travel and see how the other half live and
Yeah,
go and see how they live in India,
Yeah.
and places like that, and then kind of realise that New Zealand is.
has got it.
Oh,
really,
it's-
if they want to
it's
make
the
it,
art.
they can make it here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no reason why New Zealand can't just be an amazing arc and GE free and flipping, no spying and no assets being sold off and no child poverty.
Yeah, yeah. We're lucky, really. It
Mm.
is a beautiful country.
In Terry.
Yeah,
Shit
Alright,
needs to be sorted out.
yeah. Cheers. Look, I appreciate your time. And now, yeah, can I ask about you? You've got a few surfboards we saw today, mate.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful collection. And a couple of you pissed me off because I was bidding against you. And I stopped.
I could see it was you too.
And that dolphin board, I'm really disappointed, but mate, it's gone to a good home. So yeah.
But when you come around to our place when we finally build, you'll be able to admire it in the living room because that really is just the most incredible board
it
I
is,
think
yeah,
I've ever seen.
yeah.
1950s
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
That was
Just the start of surfing when it really started to take off, and
Yeah.
to see boards like that. And you got some famous boards here, some beautiful boards. So
Oh, there's still a few over in different
Yeah.
countries in the world that I have to get them sent over, and
yeah,
they will all be in one beautiful place.
yeah.
Like
Excellent. All right, thank you.
that. Cheers, Loza.
Yeah.